Hello Taurus, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Taurus for the end of August. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Taurus, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you. See what's coming forward for you as we close out this month of August. Now, the timeline on this reading will be from the last week of August, so that'll be August 25th, all the way until September 7th. And the reason I chose September 7th is that is the full moon total lunar eclipse in Pisces. So we're starting the second series of eclipses here soon, but really we're looking to see what's closing out here in August, all right? All right, let me make sure everything's set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Okay. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, this can indicate that during this period of time here, some of you are maybe wanting to take care of your needs is kind of what's coming into my mind. The Queen of Cups is somebody who's maybe traditionally showing up as in life like the traditional therapist. If not, this may be a person who is a very good listener. Okay, this is a trusted friend who you can, who will hold space for you and listen to you. That would be the Queen of Cups person. But on a personal level, it may indicate that you're looking to take care of your needs, take care of yourself a little bit here. And this could also say that you're getting some like intuitive hits or psychic hits, so to speak, as this is one of the more intuitive or psychic cards, you could say, in the tarot. Friendly reminder, we're all psychic. It's just whether or not you want to hone the skill or not. So for those of you who are interested when I use that word, that's just something I want to throw out there. But regardless of that, let's go ahead and move into this reading further here and see what else we have. Okay, so I do think that there is some sort of intuitive hit that's maybe happening for you, but I actually think on a deeper level here, it is more about taking care of yourself. As I look at the Death card, Two of Swords, you've got the Five of Cups here, Ten of Wands. Yeah, I mean, I think some of you here, Taurus, you may be carrying a burden here during this period of time. And I think that we'll get into that a lot more here. Looking at this, it could either be connected to a relationship. This could also be connected to a work matter or issue, okay? Also, if there are opportunities for you to meet up with your friend group or your social circle or an important family member or someone that you really enjoy spending time with, I think that could be really beneficial at this time as well, okay? So even if there's something that, if you have time to do something that you really love to do, play golf or, I don't know, go to a nice coffee shop or whatever it is, like do something that you really enjoy doing, In the middle here, you have the Emperor card, okay? The Emperor is, this is the masculine part of yourself, which exists within you as it exists within everyone. And we have more of a feminine energy here as well with the feminine aspect of yourself here as well, which is the Queen of Cups. So maybe you're looking to balance these parts of yourself out, taking care of your emotional needs, putting your needs, in front of you, listening to what your intuition is telling you, but at the same time, prioritizing things, taking the lead in certain areas that you have to take the lead in with the Emperor and the Queen of Cups. But on a different level, the Emperor, this is a sign of leadership potentially in one's life, but this is also somebody who's really successful in career, And, this is like, I always like to say big boss energy is kind of what the Emperor is. So some of you could be finding success in career as well, getting the Emperor, or there may be a career matter here that's showing up during this period of time. So why don't we go ahead, let's get some more details because I'm not entirely sure right away based on this reading, but you have the Lovers, the Death card, and the Two of Swords here. Okay, so the Lovers, this can signify that some of you here, you have an important choice to make in life. Lovers has been coming in for so many people during this series of readings that I'm doing, and actually in the last week as well. it obviously can speak to important relationships in your life as well. Somebody that you're really deeply committed to. It can certainly talk about that in addition, and just the kind of the love and the relationship aspect of your life. But it also may indicate harmony between you and something else. This could be harmony between you and another person. This could be harmony between you and another aspect of your life as well that you're maybe looking at here. The lovers is the sign of Gemini, and the lovers can signify like kind of like a choice between two or more things, or two people or two things in your life as well. But this is like an important choice. Along with that, you have the Death card here, which signifies major transformation in one's life. So this is the thing, right? So I'm trying to tie all of these first cards together. And this is the thing with the Queen of Cups. I think that right now you're kind of in this phase of, you're kind of like in a really important phase right now in one area of your life, okay? Like there's something there's some area in your life where things are really transforming. Things are really changing for you. I'm wondering if if this is even played out yet, or if you just have a really deeply intuitive feeling that is kind of here, with that Queen of Cups, the Death card, and the Lovers. I wonder if like it's just kind of playing out for you. Like intuitive, like I wonder if it hasn't even played out yet, but you intuitively feel like it is about to. But it feels like you're in one area of life here, something's really changing. And I think that, making sure that you give time and space for yourself during this period of time could be very helpful, and also to take care of yourself, okay? Because it feels like some things are changing here. Next, you have the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords, it represents a difficult choice. While the Lovers, it may be an important choice that you have to make. This may mean that you're in a sort of like, that phrase, like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're in this like, you're in the crossroads right now, where it's like you got to choose between A and B, but man, like there are pluses and minuses and on each one, and this is not exactly easy for me to choose, or like there's something you have to do, and it's like, this can be the Two of Swords. So you have this idea of choices here that are showing up. And if I'm not mistaken, this was similar to a reading that I did for you recently as well, around this idea of choices. If I'm not mistaken, that could have been another earth sign. But yeah, you then here in the middle column, you have the Four of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Three of Cups. Okay, so the Three of Cups, this is what I was getting at earlier, which the Three of Cups is a really nice card on its own, which is like, it's all about joy, celebration, fun, pleasure, these sorts of things. It's your social circle, it's your friend group, it's the people around you, the people that fill your cup up, and, this is, a sort of a symbol for enjoying life a little bit here, okay? Doing something that you really want to be doing here at this time with the Three of Cups. And so I think that you're kind of like on this, you're like right at the precipice of a major change and transformation. So try to do something to kind of balance your energy out, and there's even this balance here with the Emperor and the Queen of Cups of like this go, authoritative, like, taking charge, taking lead, and also taking care of yourself, taking care of your emotional needs, listening to what your soul is telling you, these sorts of holding space for yourself, these sorts of things. So like, there's this kind of like balance that's showing up here that I think is very important here. You then here have the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles, it can indicate that you're maybe saving for a rainy day in a sense, right? And let's take the symbolism of that like concept, like this person here is holding on to their pentacles, they're saving up for something. I have a feeling that some of you are recharging, okay? I think you're saving up for something here, like, and I'm using that as like an analogy, right? Like there's something in your life that you're saving up for, like, and I almost feel like it's even your like energy bank. Like some of you are like saving up your energy for something that intuitively is coming. Now, if that is not the case, if you haven't had some sort of like feeling here or anything like that something's around the corner, and then what I would say is there may be a little bit of hesitancy around making a choice, okay? Because the Four of Pentacles, it can simply indicate hesitancy. This person's not a risk taker, and you very clearly here have a choice that you have to make that feels transformative, that feels big, okay? And so that could also be happening here. It could be in connection to love, but it also could be in connection to another area in your life here as well, because we don't really have a ton of Cups cards, you know? So yeah, in the final column, you have the Ten of Wands, the Five of Cups, and the Three of Wands. So the Ten of Wands, you know, this is a burden. I think some of you are really carrying a heavy burden here. And I think this is even a burden of an emotional nature as you have the Ten of Wands and the Five of Cups. You know, I do think that some of you are maybe healing from, you know, a situation that has really made you sad in some way here, and this is kind of a heavy burden to carry. I always like to say, like, you know, it's never feel embarrassed to ask for help, you know, in life. Like, really never feel embarrassed. There are, you know, really skilled people out there that can help talk through everybody, you know, can help us talk through things when we go through rough patches. I get a sense that some of you are going through a rough patch. Could this connect to the Father? It might, with the Emperor. Okay, it could. Or a significant, you know, figure in one's life if that's not it. But yeah, there's some burden that you're carrying here that and the cards really want you to kind of lean in the direction of, at the very least, carve out a little bit of time to do something that you really enjoy doing. Now, the good news here is you have the Three of Wands. You are growing, expanding into something that feels like a lot better than, I think, whatever's going on here with this Death card, Two of Swords, Five of Cups, Ten of Wands, whatever's going on here, you are growing and expanding into something here. Lovers, Emperor, Three of Wands in a diagonal. Diagonals are directions that you're headed. There's another diagonal here, though, where the direction is sort of like holding on to this burden or needing to decide or make a critical decision on something here. So you kind of got like a couple different paths that you're walking on simultaneously at this time. It seems like in this reading, and it's kind of like managing and navigating all of that, you know, here during this period of time for yourself. What else would I say here? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into the clarifications portion because I want more details on what's going on here. I'll start off by pulling some oracle cards, and then we'll move into the tarot clarifications. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the oracle messages here for you. All right. Energy on the bottom. You have great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. So, you know, it is oftentimes like when we go through a huge transformation, like think about the Death card, right? The Death card is this idea of going from the caterpillar to the butterfly, right? That's a painful, I'm sure, transformation for the caterpillar. But, you know, the thing that I'm getting at here is like when we go through something like that, that may be a little painful, that may be a little challenging, it is during those times that we learn the most. That's what I believe. I believe that. Like we learn so much when we go through stuff like that, right? And let's move forward and let's, and I think that this could be maybe part of your situation. And let's move forward here. And you have this Wise One, grow within your current situation. It's really sinking in with this great teacher energy here, as well as Air Guardian, shift your perception. What can we do to kind of like, you know, make the most of this situation, right? You then here have Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy, as well as Hermit, retreat and recharge. That's a message I've been preaching in this reading like the entire time. This idea of, I felt it, okay? Like this idea of retreating or recharging or just recharging your batteries, taking care of yourself, doing something you like to do. You then here have Direction Guardian, choose your path. As well as High Priestess, harness mystic power. Okay, harness mystic power. And this Direction Guardian, there's a real question of direction here, all over the table here, all over the board, right? There's a real question of direction with the Lovers, the Two of Swords, important and difficult choices to make. Yeah, I think some of you are going through like a completely, maybe even, shall I say, deeply spiritual situation, particularly if we get the Judgment card that comes in the clarifications. And I think this is like also like a big part of your situation at this time. And I even think that this hasn't, for some this is already, you're going through it right now. And for some, it's like an intuitive feeling that this is something that's going on, okay, like that some of you may have. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the tarot clarifications here. Now, Taurus, as always, I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right. Let's see what we have. Okay, you have the Devil, Eight of Swords, and Four of Cups. Devil, Eight of Swords, and Four of Cups. All right, so it's possible here that some of you are maybe, some of you feel like a little bit, okay, a couple of things. You feel a little bit chained or tied down or entrapped within a relationship, okay? Some of you may quite literally have dealt with a toxic person as well. The Devil can indicate a toxic person here. This may talk about the love situation that some of you are looking at here, or some of you are in this reading for. Maybe why you clicked on this reading, you know? And I do think that that relationship is like, it just has to change, and it is transforming. And there's, it just really, something about that has to change and transform here for you. With the Devil, the Lovers, the Eight of Swords, and the Death card. Because right now there's like a real sense of restriction. It may feel like this person is trying to keep you under their thumb with the Devil and the Eight of Swords, okay? And if that's not the case, they're not keeping you under their thumb, they're not being toxic. The reality is that some of you are quite literally just bored, okay? Yeah. Four of Cups, like it's same old. Maybe even like the relationship that you found yourself in is, for whatever reason, you're engaging in like some sort of like avoidance activity or avoidance habit with the Devil and the Four of Cups. Devil and the Four of Cups is really like an avoidant tendency. That's like a big combination for that. The Devil is like, okay, yeah, eat the whole bag of chips, like, yeah, go for another drink, or yeah, it's, skip a day of work, you don't need to go to the gym, these sorts of things, right? Like something that we're doing that we know we shouldn't be doing, that is the Devil energy. And all of that is happening because you've got this energy here of avoidance with the Four of Cups. And maybe all of this is tying into some relationship or situation that you have found yourself in that you no longer want to be in, right? And there's this like idea here of entrapment that's going on with the Devil and the Eight of Swords. Let's see what else we have. And maybe you could apply everything I literally just said to your career as well. It's like, I'm done with this career. You have Knight of Wands, Three of Wands, and the Magician. Okay, so Knight of Wands, Three of Wands, and the Magician here showing up. I love this for you. I do love that the Three of Wands is here again. Okay, we had the Three of Wands here. I said the Three of Wands is the good news for you in this reading. Emperor and the Three of Wands to me would suggest you really have the knowledge, the skill set, and the ability, especially with the Magician, to expand into a new thing, a new area, to grow into something new, to build on top of everything that you've already experienced up to this point. I think for some of you here, there is maybe some level of freedom and independence that you are looking to achieve in your life. And with the Magician, skill, knowledge, talent, ability, and the ability to manifest, there's a real option here for you to actually do that. Okay, there's a real option for you to actually create freedom that you've been looking for. The Knight of Wands is a risk taker. Okay, the Knight of Wands is somebody who is a freedom lover. And you have this here with the Four of Pentacles, which is the opposite. The Four of Pentacles is the complete and total opposite of the Knight of Wands. And I have a sense that that could be something that you're looking to do here. I think the Knight of Wands may also suggest that some of you are going to change your location. There's even a travel message here with the Three of Wands twice and the Knight of Wands. That's definitely confirmations that that could be on the table. Some of you may try to do some leisure travel or something that you want to do. I would just be very careful of escapism. Now that I say that, be very careful of escapism because of this Four of Cups, Eight of Swords, and the Devil. That's definitely a combination that is very clear to me here in this reading. And, it's easier for me to say that, right? But I guess, like, at the end of the day, that's something that we all have to kind of figure out how to handle with, or how to deal with, or handle ourselves. You have the Hanged Man, Two of Swords, and the Empress. Okay, so Emperor and Empress, counterpart in the tarot, usually a really good message. Usually that means compatibility, but in a reading like this is why you have to blend the meanings of the cards. In a reading like this, it's sort of like that has dried out, right? Like there is a change here that's happening, right, between two people with the Emperor and the Empress. There's really a change here that's happening. You have the Two of Swords again, which we started the reading off with down here, and I would say be careful that you're not kicking the can down the road. In other words, be careful that you're not putting off a decision that you have to make. There's a very clear decision that you have to make here. Try not to kick the can down the road because you will later pay for that in some way, right? Like eventually you're going to have to actually just meet it head on. And I would suggest that maybe this pocket of time is a great pocket of time to do that. Looking at the astrology, looking at the recent readings that I've been doing, take that information for what it is, yeah. So I think that here with this Five of Pentacles and the Two of Swords, like you'll feel so much better once you actually just approach this situation. You tackle this situation head on. It'll feel like talking about a burden here, Ten of Wands. That burden is lifted from your shoulders here, especially with the Hanged Man. This idea of not being active. The Hanged Man's passive. The Hanged Man's in limbo. Some of you here are looking to approach something really, really and take it head on. And as you do that, I think you could find some peace and some harmony here, for sure. Energy on the bottom, you do have the Nine of Pentacles. This is an incredible card to find on the bottom. The Nine of Pentacles, it can indicate financial independence. It can also indicate independence generally, but this is somebody who is, capable and more importantly self-sufficient. And I think for you, this idea of being self-sufficient is probably the more important thing here. Okay, I think it's probably the more important thing here in this reading. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Kipper cards here. All right. You have toil and labor. You have courtship, marriage, great fortune, mature man, and judication. So let's take a look here. Occupation, what is on the bottom? Expectation. Okay, so I definitely think that there, I will say that if there's sort of like a, some of you are like looking to, if the relationship feels hard and you're looking to split off from this person, it feels like they're not going to take that very easily because we have this idea of courtship and marriage. Okay, you do have judication there as well. I don't necessarily think that this person is just going to like fold and, ultimately you get to do what you want, right? It's, within that relationship, but it's sort of like, this is a tricky situation, I think, here. It's multi-layered, okay, Taurus, it's multi-layered, and you probably know what I'm saying. Now, for the career stuff, this is also a situation where there's like entanglement, okay? There are a lot of moving parts to this decision that you have to make here, but ultimately, there's growth and expansion here. You do have that great fortune card, which is incredible. Message of concern, I do think that some of you are kind of like deciding that it's time to move on. You have expectation here. I think somebody has been placing a high expectation on you for a long time, either career or in a relationship. Okay, Taurus, that's going to wrap up this reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.